everyone. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Nancy.
And we
are on the needles. Look at this, episode 16.
16. Wow.
Oh, gosh. Remember when you turned 16? It was a great time.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it's been longer for me, but I totally remember getting my driver's license. I could not wait. I'm not sure if I went down on my birthday or like the day after, but it was like independence. And I had a job. I got a job when I was 15 working in a fabric store. So my folks had to, take me and pick me up. And since I was in school, I worked until closing, which at that time I think was 9 o'clock. And so I kind of think they were a little bit happy that I got
for sure.
Since I didn't have a car. I didn't get my first car till college, but yeah.
Yeah, when I got mine, my parents were so happy to send me to the grocery store and errands and stuff, and I was more than happy to do it.
I do that with the girls, yeah. I actually went to the grocery store this week. I think was the first time in probably, I can't even remember, maybe 5 months. I just send them with a list and the credit card and off they go.
Wow,
oh, nice.
It is nice. Mimi usually goes on her way home.
Nice.
Mimi, my wife, is a pharmacist, and she is actually working at home most days, but on Fridays she goes in. So I send her with a list of stuff because if she's out.
Oh, I see Daisy.
Yeah.
There's Daisy. By. Yeah. So what's new? It's been a couple weeks.
It has. Well, I just wanted to start out by sending our best hopes and thoughts to the people in Texas who are suffering without power. And if anyone is able to watch us, check in and let us know that you're okay and how it's going down there. Yeah. We've had a few times here where our power has gone out for several days and it's not good, but we're much more equipped to deal with it. Like we have winter coats, for instance, and
snow plows.
Yeah.
And snow blowers. Yeah. In fact,
right.
On our Zoom last night, one of the guys that lives in the south, not quite southeast, but kind of right down in that area. And he thought, and I'm not picking on you, you know who you are. He thought a snowblower was like a leaf blower because they just don't have the snow down there. And so he was quite surprised that it's more like a wood chipper.
I think he's in Louisiana, so they don't. They
don't get it. So
see it too much at all.
So you guys down there are not prepared. Yeah.
No.
Knitters,
and when I lived in Seattle, even for 20 years or whatever, when there would be a big epic snowstorm, kind of like what they're having now, it was a total shutdown. Yeah. And there were tons of accidents, and people would just abandon their cars on the freeway. It was bizarre to me, but I have to say the snow is much wetter over there, so it immediately compacts and just turns into ice.
But it's gone over there now. I think they said last night.
Is it gone?
Yeah,
I think it's still in Oregon.
Yeah,
where they're also
still in Oregon. So
super psyched about it. I mean, here it's beautiful. We're fine. We had the snowplow come on last night, and
I think we got another couple inches last night. But now it's supposed to warm up and rain. So I'm not worried about shoveling.
Fest.
Yeah,
that's what we have. 2 dogs, and it's just a disaster. I have all kinds of towels piled by the back door and all kinds of stuff to clean them off so they don't destroy the house. But anyway, what have you been up to knitting wise?
What have I been up to? Well, I am wearing The Weekender by Andrea Mowry. I believe this is one I've shown before. This is by some gorgeous yarn that was gifted to me, and I have talked about it before. It's like a chain. It needs to be filled, like a chain construction. Really comfortable. The only thing I would do next time is I wouldn't make the neck so wide. I did put a bra on today, didn't know, but I've kind of slid the straps over a little bit because
can you seam it up the side a little bit?
Well,
I think it wouldn't even matter.
I think I could. It's got that reverse 3-needle bind off. So you have a
Yeah.
little seam here. I think that's what it was.
So
a
just
3-needle
seam it
bind
from
off.
the inside.
So I might
mattress
just do
stitch.
that. Yeah. In fact, we were talking before we started recording that I don't layer clothes
Yeah.
usually, unless it's really cold. But when I'm inside, I don't layer. So, you know, if I had even like a pretty lacy camisole straps, I could do that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I have finished. I have a finished object. Yay. And those of you that follow me on Instagram, oh, you know, we should tell you guys that if you like this, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We record in the Pacific Northwest. We're in Spokane, Washington. And we did introduce ourselves. So
We did.
Okay,
and our names are right there on the screen.
Yeah, full disclosure, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee. So I'm just going to throw that out there now, guys. If I seem like I'm rushing,
Fair
I'm going to
warning.
get lots of knitting done today. But anyway, see how much. Oh, and I've
I
changed
can't wait to see.
locations.
I'm so excited to see this.
New location. I thought I would record in front of my fireplace today, and I almost
looks
blend in, so you just kind of see my head.
Nah, your
But anyway,
turquoise shows.
the Beetlejuice sweater is done.
Isn't that
Blocked.
awesome?
Is blocked. It has been gifted. It has been worn.
Does it fit her beautifully?
It does fit her good.
Oh,
It fits her
God.
good. Yeah. She wanted
Nancy
it.
gave it to her granddaughter.
Oldest granddaughter, yes. She wanted it a little oversized and a little long. So yeah, so Beetlejuice is done. Sweater number 2, I think, for the year.
Are you going to put that color in the shop? You should at least save it for your Halloween.
Yeah, I might save it for Halloween advent.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty
Specific.
kind of a unique, yeah. And it's, yeah, but I could. It doesn't mean that I can't. I can do whatever I want.
That's
So,
true.
so that's my finished object. Let's bounce it back to you while I have
All
more
right,
coffee.
so I'm wearing my Bernie. It's called Feel the Burn, and it is by Caitlin Hunter, who's a Boyland Knitworks, and I will stand up and show it to you. It's kind of cropped a little bit, and I made it longer. It was supposed to be like 8 inches, which I think is about here, which is not my cup of tea. So
that is so cool. And that just flew off your needles.
well, it did, and it's worsted weight Woolfolk FÅR, which is, I would say it's almost an Aran weight. So I didn't even block this. It knitted up so beautifully. I think I probably will steam it because it is just a tiny bit wavy. But I always have extra right here. And I don't know if that is just a function of this yoked sweater or if I don't know. But I have, you can see I have all this extra fabric. So
But you don't notice it when you're wearing it.
yeah, I noticed it when I kind of look down. I see all this waviness. So I'm a little bit nervous to block it just because.
Is it a super wash?
No, it's a merino. Yeah.
You could always just throw it in the dryer for, 15 seconds at a time, get it wet and just kind of faux it a little bit.
Yeah, if it gets too big, I think I might just give it a little steam just to set the stitches but it looks pretty good if I do say so myself.
I think it looks great.
To me, it doesn't look like it hasn't been blocked. The stockinette portion, I mean, it is, you can see a little bit of unevenness there. That's just, the knitting.
Well, for someone that doesn't like to do color work, you did a great job.
Oh, I hated it. I hated every second of it.
And there's some places where you're carrying 3 colors, isn't it?
Yes, it's right in here in these diamond areas. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like color, but I just am not, not into it.
That's okay. There's enough cool stitches out there, stitch patterns that you don't have to do color work.
Right. I mean, it's so pretty. I don't know.
So good.
I feel like if I did it more, I would like it better just because it wouldn't be such a chore, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get there. I do like the slip stitch color work.
Oh, I
That's
love
fun.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So good. So is that all
Yeah.
you finished?
That's all I finished.
So what's on your needles?
Well, I feel like I show the same stuff all the time. I'm not as fast of a knitter as you are, but I am making tracks on my stripes sweater. I'm on the ribbing.
Nice.
So I've shown that before, but I'll just share a picture of that. In a minute. So yeah, I am, I got Pinterest that wants to show. Okay.
And while you're sharing, I'm going to run and get something. So,
Okay.
but I'm not here.
This is the stripes. And I'm doing this kind of single stripe that you can see here. And this is a Woolfolk SNO, which is a marled merino, I think, and it is fingering weight, but it's pretty lofty. This sweater calls for a sport, I believe. And so I thought I would just give it a go. And my gauge is a little, you know, not as smooth as I normally knit, but I think it's going to be fine. And I'm excited. Like I've said before, I'm excited for such a lofty, or not lofty, an airy sweater. And I think this sweater is so cute. I mean, she did this in all of these different colors. And this is the color work I like. I love a stripe. And I wear stripes all the time in my just t-shirts, whatever. I just love it. So that's that.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I also have, do you want me to keep going?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also working on our Destination Unknown knit along. And it is, all the information is on our Ravelry page, which will be in the notes below. I link to that. And I had to start over. I'm so lame. I totally abandoned it for the burning, feel the burn. And I completely lost my place. And I could not figure it out. I kept unknitting and you know, trying to like get this, and I was just like, forget it. I'm spending way too much time. So now I'm putting a stitch marker after each repeat. So I'm in chart 2 now. This is the first repeat of chart 2.
That's looking so good from a distance. You can really see the pattern, the slip stitch pattern.
And I love, so this is the yarn. It's Nancy's yarn. It is Wicked and oyster shell. And the pinks in the oyster shell are really awesome in this. I just love the pops of pink. Here's a little more of the pinks. And the dark part, this shawl works best with highly contrasted yarn. And so the dark parts do blend in a little bit, but I don't think it's a big deal at all.
Yeah. So I'm anxious to hear, comment below on how people are doing on their knit alongs.
Yeah, and if you want to join us, you totally still can, because it doesn't end till April 15th. And yes. Also, Nancy, are you still offering?
I am, yes.
Okay, so you've got 20% off of kits. So this is one of Nancy's kits.
So and yeah, just use the code destination20.
Right. In her
Trilogy
Yarn.com.
And I put together Trilogy Yarn.
Yarn.com.
I just have just one yarn. And yeah, there's kits that are put together, some suggestions of colors, but of course you can always do your own color. And if you're doing it for the knit along, just reach out to me and I'll honor that 20%.
You're so nice.
Okay,
yes. So I'm going to show that just in case people don't know what we're talking about, because it is gorgeous. It's by Cheryl Faust. And she's amazing. So isn't that amazing? And you can see, like, she used a variegated yarn for her color, for her second color, and it shows beautifully. So I'm so excited. One of our friends, Rob, he made this shawl, and we fell in love with it.
Rob is an amazing knitter.
He
He's
is
like
an
a
amazing
machine.
knitter. Shout out to Rob. And it is the slip stitch color work, so it's really fun, and it just packs such a punch, that slip stitch. I love it, especially when you've got a high contrast.
Yeah.
So
All the
so
Robs out there going,
yeah, I'm a great knitter. And if your name is Rob and you're a knitter, you are a great knitter.
you are a great knitter.
Okay, so the last thing is I'm getting back to my sock blanks. So this is going to be my second pair out of this yarn, and I already cut it to make the first pair here. So this other half of the blank is a pair, and so these will be a little shorter. So this is just the waste yarn from the machine, so this won't be here, but this is the color I'm using for the heel and cuff and toe. So it's just a brown that goes pretty well with it. And the thing that I'm wondering about, which is, and you guys who have done this with sock blanks, comment and let me know what you think. But I don't know what this yarn is. I just have been looking, I just dig in my stash to find the little, but I don't know. I don't think this is superwash. It doesn't feel like superwash. And this definitely is superwash. I think this is
it is. I've got socks out of that one.
Yeah, I forget.
I can't remember.
But I'll put it in the notes. So I guess just hand wash them.
Well, I wash my socks. I wait. I wear hand knit socks every day. Even in the summer, if I put socks on, I wear shorties. So I have a lot. So about every 3 weeks, I'll wash my socks. I mean, I don't wear them that long. I wear a pair a day, but after about 3 weeks, I'm kind of running low. And I just put them on a delicate cycle on my machine, and then I just air dry them. So
do you put them in a lingerie bag, or
I just throw them in, but they're all superwash. So I guess my point being that probably would be okay on, because it's a cool, gentle cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But
yeah,
I wouldn't put them in the dryer. So.
Right. So we'll see. But if anybody has experience with that, or has had an oopsie where you did put them in the dryer and that didn't work out so well for you, weigh in.
Yeah. And I'm going to do a little shameless plug for the shop. I do have,
for those that's why I showed those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For those that like to knit from, sock tubes. The gal that I think that did that one for you, her and her husband did a bunch for me. And then Rob, our knitter Rob, did some for me too. And so if you like doing that, I've got some of those in the shop, and I've included a contrasting 20-gram mini for heels and toes if you want. And those are like an 80-20. So there's nylon in those. But
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah. I was thinking when I was working on it, I'm like, oh yeah, people can actually buy them already done. I don't know how many shops sell that kind of thing, but pretty awesome. And if you need any help doing the heels or toes or anything like that, I'll start a group or a topic in Ravelry and put some links in there of what we like, videos and all that kind of thing for
I think Crazy Sock Lady does some afterthought.
Yeah, that's the one that I follow. She has a really good one, but she
has an afterthought everything type of thing.
That Roxanne has one, and all that.
Yes,
we talked about that before. So
we did.
Yeah,
great, cool.
That's all to show for this little segment. How about you?
Well, I too have things on the needles. The first one is I'm going to share my screen and show you which pattern I'm doing. So this is the On the Road pullover, and it's by Eweknit Toronto. So I think I mentioned that all of the girls, thought that I should make them a sweater.
Yeah.
And so I did the Beetlejuice sweater. So now this is for my youngest granddaughter. I'm kind of going out of turn here with making sweaters for the kids. But so I am doing On the Road, and I have just split for the sleeves. So that's the back. So this is done out of sport weight. So this is my goldenrod. It was an oopsie goldenrod color. And then
What do you mean an oopsie?
it
Like didn't turn out exactly how
yeah,
you wanted it? Okay.
yeah, the dye, you can see where the dye didn't get dissolved real good.
Oh,
So
I think that's
it's
kinda
a
cool.
gorgeous. I love the tonals in it,
Yeah.
but I don't that I could repeat it exactly like
Oh,
this.
gotcha.
So so I've done that. So I'm done with the goldenrod color. And then the body is in this beaver, which
Oh, I
is
love that.
kind of a taupey color, taupey grayish brown.
Mhm.
So, and then for the white, I just did undyed yarn. So anyway, I've just split for the sleeves, and I've kind of got this on a small cable. Get down here. I've started the gray. Oh gosh, the gray for the
That's
body.
a really beautiful combo of
So,
colors.
well, and this is like the Pantone color of the year. It's kind of a
Yes.
play on that, the yellow and gray. So
Grello.
anyway, this is flying. You know, the color work part is done. And so now it's just going to fly. And
What yarn is that?
this is sport. This is my
Okay.
sport base. And I think my most favorite sweater I have right now is the Buds and Branches. And it was out of sport weight. And it just has a nice feel. It's 100% superwash merino. I love it. I think I'm gonna well, no, because I have 2 other sweaters I'll talk about in my dream knitting, but I really like the sport. I'm really loving the sport. So I have that one. And then I think last time I had just cast on the toe of my, this is Knit Picks Felici, and I think we decided that was in the present colorway.
Yep. Mhm.
And so usually with Felici, there's like a 3 or a 4 stripe repeat. So it's a very consistent type of stripe. But look how this one is knitting up.
Oh, wow.
So it's
That
got
is
like 1,
so
2,
pretty.
3, 4, 5, 6 stripes in it.
Yeah.
And I just think it's gorgeous. So I've just turned the heel. So my socks, I do toe up. I start the toe on a magic loop, and then when I increase, I switch over to my 9-inch circulars, and I do 64 stitches with the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So there's my heel.
Very nice.
But yeah, so now I'm to the part that it just flies. So yeah, so this has been some, I'd like to say car knitting, but I'm usually driving, so I'm not going to say car knitting, but I don't know.
Take along knitting.
Take along. We've had a couple appointments this week and stuff. So yeah, so I got that. And then last night when we were on our virtual knit night, I cast on a Ross hat. Ross from Smells Like Yarn has got a really nice hat pattern. It's on his website, smellslikeyarn.com, and you can get there through Ravelry if you search for Ross hat. So it's a 3x2 rib, and then it's just a stockinette, and I'm just almost to the point of decreases. I think I just have a couple more rows. I'm not big from here to here. So when I tried it on last night, but there's a lot of knowledge in here, even if it's not big, it doesn't mean it's empty. But I tried it on last night, and I'm just about ready for the crown decreases. But this I am doing in a sport weight, and this is my blush colorway. So I'm doing that, and that's just a tonal, and then I'm doing a variegated mohair with it.
Ooh,
and
pretty.
This is Unicorn Farts.
Oh, I love it.
So when you knit up with a highly variegated main color and then a tonal mohair, it kind of mutes the colors of your main skein, I guess. But when you do it with a tonal for one and your mohair is highly variegated, you get the fun pops of color where they're not muted. So you know, depending on the look you're going for, it just gives it a different look. So this, like I said, I cast this on last night. I think we started Zoom about 3:30 and went till 6:30, and I got this much done. It's just a
Nice.
super easy hat. So that's the Ross hat. Oh, with my little sheep stitch marker.
So cute.
The Ross hat, and I love it. Now I know why everybody likes it. And I'm anxious to get to the decreases because people say they're fun. So 3 projects, but that's not to say I have been sitting on my hands trying not to cast on another sweater. I've been
Cool.
so monogamous this year, and there's been 2 that have come into my queue, I guess.
Yeah.
One of them is a knit along that our knit night group is doing. But the other one I'll show you when I show you dream knitting. So
Okay.
so I did cast on a hat, but I think 3 active projects is doable. I'll let you know.
Whatever you
Depends
say.
how much
I've probably
coffee
got
I have, you
10.
know. Well, I'm going to
Yeah,
drink this
well.
coffee, and this afternoon I will fly.
Well, I think I named our last podcast Cast on Itis because I have cast on so many. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why I never get anything done because I keep jumping from, but I did get the Bernie done, and now I'm going to just concentrate on the shawl. And then this is like my podcast or Zoom knitting project. So it's so easy.
You
And
know,
the
and
sleeves are short.
I used to have a lot of projects on the needles, and now I don't know what switch got flipped, but now it's like if I think about casting on another sweater while I've got one on the needles, I always get this anxious feeling. So it's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I meant to be monogamous in my knitting.
Maybe.
So,
Whatever works for you.
Yeah. So what are you going to cast on next?
Well, I found, I hope this is it. Yes. Remember how I lost my trellis top? I found it.
I do. Oh.
And of course it's in the middle of a row. So our puppy is in her crate, so you might hear some whining, yipping. So I found it, and this is how far I am on the back. Isn't that so pretty?
That's gorgeous. Now that's done in pieces, is it?
Yeah, basically a front and a back. I'll pull up the yeah, it is
oh yes.
Yeah, so it's just a front and a back. And then I'm just gonna seam it. I've talked about this one before. I'm just gonna seam it here. I think I don't like those buttons.
But you know, you could seam it and then just put buttons on it like it's a faux buttonhole.
I don't really love the buttons.
You don't like the buttons?
No, I think it would be cuter just with a seam down to and then a split hem. For me, I think it would be cuter. So, but it's just a little vest. I mean, I think it's adorable, and I love this hat. This is in, I forget what that is, but that brings me to my next.
Yeah, I was looking at that hat.
And I'm pretty sure it is in one of the Mason Dixon. This trellis top is obviously a Carol Feller, and it's in one of the, not Mason Dixon, Modern Daily Knitting field guides. And I think that hat might be in there too. I'm gonna have to find that. Okay, so I bought this quite a while ago. Well, at your trunk show at Chris's at Knit the Studio. And I want to knit a hat. We go on walks. Several people in our knitting group go on walks together on the weekends with our dogs. And they always wear all their hand knit hats. And I had never been a hat wearer, but it's been so friggin' cold here that I've been needing to wear hats. So I want to knit up a quick one. And this, I believe this is.
That's a superwash
worsted.
Oh, is it
superwash worsted?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's an oak color. But I just don't know, like, I think maybe a pattern like that we just saw might work with that, because this has so much, I just don't know if cables would show up, or that kind of thing.
I mean, you
and I
could
do
even,
want it to be warm. I don't want to do like an open work.
you could just do the Ross hat too.
I totally could. That's actually what I was
Just,
thinking
you know,
too.
stockinette and
Yeah.
he's got, you know, the pattern for all bases, and it's a free hat pattern.
I
So.
think I might do that and also knit it a little bit tighter so it's
Oh,
warm. Yeah. So anyway,
Hmm.
but I love that hat. I forgot about that hat. But this trellis top is done with, can we see that? Erin Moore Light from the Fiber Co. Or not Erin Moore. Yeah, Erin Moore Light. It's a I believe it's a DK. Yeah. And this color is Bronog. So it showed up pretty well. It's showing up pretty well. It's a just kind of a purpley red.
Yeah.
And it's tweedy. So it's got a little bit of green speck in it and red, and I just love it.
Fun.
And it's a dream to knit with. I love Fiber Company yarns. They're beautiful, and they have a good variety of different types.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my coming up. Get back to the trellis and find a good hat pattern. So
good.
So if you guys have suggestions, leave me a comment and let me know what your go-to hat pattern is for kind of warm hats. And then I will check out the Ross hat and all the others. So how about you?
Well, I have the third granddaughter sweater to do, so I'm going to show that pattern. Let's see. I think it is. Oops. Technology. Okay, come on. It's under. I can't get to it without stop sharing. Let's close this one. Okay. Nope. Oh, well. Okay, give me a second and I'll get there. You guys can see all my it's in my oh, for Pete's sakes.
You could just do a search from patterns if you know the
I
name.
can't remember the name. It's
oh,
in my
bummer.
notebook, but every time I try to get to my notebook, it goes away. So, oh my gosh, it's in
library.
No,
favorites. There you go.
It is this one.
Ooh, that's cool.
And for those of you that know my middle granddaughter, I mean, this kind of looks like her. She's got really long hair. It's dark and it's real wavy, and she loves to wear off the shoulder sweaters. So I just
did she pick that out?
She did not. I saw it and I thought this looks so much like her. So it's the cold shoulder pullover. It's Knititude. That's who's done it there. But it's just gorgeous. And she really wants gray. She just wants a good neutral color. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it's worsted. Oh, it's an Aran. So I'm just going to use a worsted. I don't have Aran in my shop. And do that. So that is my next cast on. And then after that, if I can continue to stay monogamous, is the Black Sea.
Ooh, I love that.
So isn't this gorgeous? I love the neck on it.
That's kind of big Y-ish, like the one I just finished, that funnel neck.
But the little funnel neck, and then it's got this awesome detail. The raglan increases, and then the little cable down the back. And I'm really thinking well, I'm trying to decide on the color. I think I like the white, but being how my hair has now grayed, I don't know if it'll be contrasty enough for me. So I've got some really pretty jewel tone blues. I'm going to go ahead and stop that.
That'd be pretty.
That I may do it in. I'm not sure. Or a purple. I've done some pinks and grays lately, so I'm going to look and see. But yeah, so those are, the off the shoulder one, and then the black seam.
Very cool.
It's what I've got next in my queue.
Cool. I
I
love
don't
it.
have a,
I
I don't
love
have a
that.
queue because that requires Ravelry, but that just sounded so cool to say that. Yeah.
My queue and
So-
my favorites are out of control on Ravelry. I got to go in and
Yeah.
do some
know.
organizing.
Yeah. Cool.
So do you have any new things?
I have
Acquisitions?
I have a new thing, non-related. So I'm going to reach out to the non-yarny people that watch us. And oh, if I can get it up here with my Goodwill trip this week.
Oh
Look
my,
at this
look at
owl.
that. That is cool.
Little garden.
Very
cedar.
neat.
Isn't that cool? Little garden.
A little plant stand or
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos with, thrifting, and I've done it for years, but I've just decided it's time to do some new decorations. So my sister was looking, she says, if you ever find any good ceramic indoor pots, let me know. Well, there was a whole collection of this blue and white pottery, and I picked up 5 large indoor plant pots, and then they had that, and they had some like of the ginger jars. So much fun. So
where are you finding these things? I need to
Goodwill.
Goodwill. Wow.
At the Goodwill. Yeah. So actually tomorrow I told my mother that put on her boots and we're going to go out and chase around. It's fun. Look for little treasures. You start watching these YouTube videos and it's like, ah, that's so cool. But a lot of them, they'll buy them to sell them. That's not me. I just think it's time to, reduce some of the accessories in my home. One of these days, the kids are all going to move out. I hope. Sorry, girls, I love you. And it's like, okay, take what you want, because I just want to start fresh, even with the furniture, because with, kids that tend to plop on sofas and stuff.
Right.
You need
I know. I feel like that too. I want to redecorate our living room for when we can start having people over again. And I was going to go to Home Goods, but I might, check out the thrift store.
Yeah, I've seen some really cute. When I have an extra bedroom here right now, they're all occupied. I'm going to turn my office, or one of the bedrooms, into my office. And where my office is, I'm going to turn into a cute little sitting room. It's the only room in the house that gets sun. My house faces north. That's on the south side of the house, and it's got a slider out to the deck. And I want to turn it into a cute little sitting room. And I've seen some really cute little love seat.
Oh, that'd be perfect
stuff,
there.
but I don't dare do it now. So I just look for stuff. So
yeah.
And do you have any new favorites this week?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I have an acquisition.
Oh, I skipped right over you.
Yeah, really.
It's coffee.
I'm not going to want to skip over this. So this is from I got some swag from Knitter's Pride. This is the Knit and Sip interchangeable needle set. So last week I talked about getting a new job with Knitter's Pride, doing their social media and blogging. So I started that, and I was just going to do a little unboxing here. So this is the Knit and Sip interchangeable set. And it comes with, so it comes in that box that's shrink wrapped. And then it comes with these little espresso mugs.
Oh my gosh.
So cute.
Or shot glasses.
Right. And yeah, either or, whatever. And then the actual needle set is in this beautiful, it's kind of a velveteen, and the needles are all in here, and each one of them, the needle tips, each one of them has a name of a coffee on them. So this is Irish coffee, and these are the 9s. And they're real easy to get out. So we've got the 4, it starts with, I think, a 4. Yeah, the 4s, and this is cortado, which I don't know what that is. If anybody knows what that is, leave it in the comments. Then we've got latte, cappuccino, macchiato, Irish coffee, espresso, Americano and Ristretto. And so it goes from size 4 to 11. So it's got all the needles here in the front, and then you pull this out. And then how adorable is this? A little coffee bean notions bag. And this is where they give you your cords and stoppers and stuff. And the cords are like a pretty brown with brass joins. But I thought that coffee bean was too cute. So for coffee lovers, this is a great set. And I love their wood needles. I mean, they are so smooth and so great to use.
Now, isn't that what Knitpicks carries? Because I think I have an interchangeable set.
Knitpicks has their own brand,
okay.
And they are great too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was fun to get that. And I have an old set that's kind of packaged like this that's rosewood needles that I love and I use all the time. So
I like that.
Oh yeah, I love it too. I
wrote it down. I may have to go look at it. I know. You need one more set? I've got 3.
Well, you know what?
4 with my minis.
Nancy, because you've become kind of a monogamous knitter.
I don't know that I need that many. Yeah.
Well, and I was looking through, I have like, this is ridiculous, but I have 5 or 6 sets of interchangeable needles. And to be fair to myself, some of them have been kind of swag from places I've worked, but I've done my fair share of buying these. And I was putting needles away because I tend to use a bunch of them and then just chuck them in a big basket I have on my side table. And so I was putting them away and I'm like, where are all my needles? They're all on projects and I don't even know where so I mean, I know where probably they are, but I have to look through. So I think what I'm going to do is go through my projects, decide what I realistically am going to work on in the next, 6 months, and leave those on the needles, but then take the other ones off the needles and just leave them on cables or string or whatever and put a note to what needle was in there. Because I mean, it's ridiculous that I can't find a size 6 in all of
Let's do that like next week as a bonus podcast. Do it live because I have like 5 or 6 whips that I probably rip.
Just pull them out and show them. That'd be super fun. Okay.
We'll
okay, guys. I'm going to
tuned.
say brace yourselves. Because
it's always, when other podcasters do it, I think it's always kind of fun to see.
Yeah. What's it called?
Started.
Peek behind the curtain.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. So good.
And what about favorites?
I have a favorite.
Okay.
A non-knitting favorite. I don't have a lot of knitting. I take that back. I have a lot of knitting tools, but I only use a few. I kind of keep in the rotation, and I've showed all those. So now I'm scratching for favorites. But this time of the year, I am a coffee drinker, as we've already established. But sometimes in the
afternoon, my Star Trek, one of my favorite mugs.
Oh, Star Trek. There you go. Yep. Yeah. I like a good cup of tea. And so this tea is, and I hide my face. Is it showing?
That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, Breakfast in Paris. And it's got lavender and bergamot and vanilla in it. It's a black.
It's delicious.
So
one of our knitting friends, Jillian, had that at a retreat and we drank it all up. It was so good.
Yeah. So this is a good one. And I usually, when I send out orders, send teas, coffees, unless it's clubs, and sometimes I do other stuff. But so I just opened up another box of this. So the orders that went out today, I think you get a pack of that. But anyway, it's just kind of fun. It's just such a nice nice tea. And I first had the tea, and it was called Paris. I got at Church Mouse
Oh,
on Bainbridge Island, because they had the yarn and then they had the tea shop in the back. So I have a cute little tin of loose tea in the Paris. So
I love
that's
stash tea, and I love that it's called stash for
I know,
for
for
us
knitters,
fiber
yes.
people, or
I
quilters, anyone who
Mhm.
has a craft, it seems like.
So I go through a lot of stash tea in my order. So I buy it right from stash, and I get these big boxes that come in.
Oh,
and
nice.
So it's kind of fun to try with different teas. So yeah, so that is my new favorite this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
My poor puppy is not happy right now. I don't know if you can hear her. So I have a favorite. I've had this for a while, and this is it was a mini summer classic kit from Lady Di, and she always packages her kits in these nice bags. So this is Summer Classics, it's called, and it's a DK weight yarn. It's kind of blowing out. The white is a little bit. And then she sent, these are so cute. I'm going to open these. Sorry about the crackling. This gal's name is Kim Thompson, and she makes stitch markers and stuff. And so Lady Di included this cool stitch marker. It's a little flower, and it's just on like a really thin piece of metal wire. And then this progress keeper, which has like a bottle, like a little apothecary bottle on it with a tassel.
Cute.
So that's always fun to get those little goodies. And then she has a button here that says classic knitter, and it's got a boom box and some cassette tapes.
Oh,
so it's funny. So her pattern for this, she always partners with a designer, and I will show you what to choose. It's a pair of fingerless mitts, and I don't know if I'll make these. I like fingerless mitts, but I don't know. I think this might be a better, like a little cowl or something, because I do like those colors, but I don't want to waste it on something I'm not gonna wear so much. And usually if I do a pair of fingerless mitts, I want them in a smaller gauge, like from a fingering or sock yarn or something, so they'll be nice and warm. So anyway, we love her kits. We get them, Mimi and I get them for each other for gifts all the time. Not all the time, but Mimi bought like a club membership for this next year, where she gets to choose 3 throughout the year. So that's fun. She already chose one. And anyway, it's Lady Di. And I believe she's in Baltimore.
I was going to say she's back east somewhere.
Yeah, she's back east, Boston or Baltimore, one of the two. So yeah.
Cool.
So that's fun. So what's going on in the shop?
Well, before we get to shop news, I do have a word of the day.
Oh, word of the day. All right, good.
And the word of the day is chinwag.
Oh, okay.
And it's a old British word. It's a noun from the late 19th century, and it means a chat. So makes sense.
So we're having a little chin wag.
We're having a little chin wag. Yes. Yeah.
That's fun.
There's a British word that I really like, and it's called wanker. And I want to do a colorway on that, but I don't want to offend anybody. So let me know if you want to wanker.
It's not more offensive than unicorn farts. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, it's on my list of names. So anyway, so in the shop, I have to flip over to shop news. Let me grab my bucket here. I'll bring it over the top so you don't have to. I do have some new colorways, and the last 3 colorways from the Advent calendar have been done. So this one is called Leaky Pipes.
Well, that's the perfect name for that. That's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Yeah. So I have this one. So that's Leaky Pipes. I have Mesmerized.
Ooh, that's a nice, how do you are so good at naming your yarns. That's
It's,
perfect.
you know, it's, sometimes I reach out,
Yeah.
but yeah. And most of the time I'll do the colorway and then I'll come up with the name, but like Winkers and, you know, others, I come up with the
Didn't you
name.
come up with oil slick, the name
The
first, and
name
then you've done,
first,
yeah,
yeah, and then I did oil slick. And then this one is Demure. So it's just some pinks.
pretty.
But yeah, so that is the last 3 full skeins from the Christmas Advent. Let's see. Oh, Trilogy had a collaboration going with a bag maker for Valentine's Day. And because of the postal service and stuff, it kind of fell through. And so she was doing 20 bags. I'm going to crinkle here for a minute. And I did 20 sock sets to match the bags. So I have a few of the sock sets left because we didn't do the collaboration. I put them up on the website at $22 a sock set, which is a great buy. But this is Stupid Cupid.
Oh, that is so pretty.
So this is, I have a few of these left. And like I say, normally my sock sets go for 33. So 22 is a good deal. It does include the 20-gram mini. And this one was done on my plush base, which is the merino cashmere nylon. So if you love a little cashmere in your socks, because I do.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, Stupid Cupid. So that is in the shop. I am having a sale this weekend, so hopefully this will go up. I mean, even if it goes up till, you know, tomorrow, the sale's going to run through Sunday midnight Pacific Coast time, and it's 20% off any of my Crayola colorways. And I've already applied the discount. I can tell you exactly what that would, well, I'll tell you what it's going to come to, but 20% off. And yeah, so I just pulled 3 colors for my Crayola colorway that I think are kind of fun. Burnt orange. And so all of these colors are done after a crayon colorway. Wild Blue Yonder, which is just this
I
deep
love that.
teal. And then Antique Brass.
Oof.
So, I mean, any of these would go together. There's,
oh my God, that's
brass,
gorgeous together. I
blue
love
colorway.
that.
Look at Antique Brass and Burnt Orange.
Oh, so pretty.
Or you could even do Burnt Orange and Wild Blue Yonder. I mean, I was just down there grabbing colors. So I have quite a few colors in the Crayola colorway collection. There's still a few I have to get going on, but I've just not had the time. So I need to make it a priority. Also, I am going to start doing, now that, you know, stores are opening up, I'm going to start doing some trunk shows. But it's not feasible for me to drive all over the country doing a trunk show when I'm a one-woman show. So I am going to be reaching out to yarn stores, sending them a sample of my yarn and see if they would like to receive a trunk show that would include yarn and samples, and they can, you know, have it for a week and send it back. So everybody comment below on what your favorite local yarn store is. If you think Trilogy would be a good fit for that, I would appreciate it. I'm also going to put a call out on Instagram at Trilogy Yarns. So if you want to comment there, you can. So I'm starting to do, it's not feasible to do samples of all of my colorways. So I'm going to swatch. And I know that you guys are probably falling off your chair because I don't swatch. We've already established that. So I'm doing color swatches. So this one I just did, in fact, I blocked it really quick this morning. So this is my Herd of Turtles colorway. And so every time I dye up a color, I'm going to throw in a little mini. And this is how Herd of Turtles knits up. Now you have to realize this is, I think, a 40 stitch swatch. If you're knitting a larger garment, it's going to look different. Or if you're doing socks where you're knitting in the round, you may not get this kind of pooling. But just so people can see how it kind of knits up, you can see the grays and the reds and stuff in here. So I am going to be doing some color swatching. I've got a unicorn farts here that I'm going to swatch up, and plumage that I'm going to swatch up. So those are the three little minis that I've dyed up this week to do color swatching.
Cool. Nice.
And then last, I want to talk about my monthly clubs. I do have the Pride and Prejudice Club. That one just shipped out yesterday. And that is a monthly club based on Pride and Prejudice. I do it on the MC and DK base, but you have the option of doing a fingering or a worsted in that club. And then I have my happy hour club, which I'm going to work on that color next week. And that is a monthly club. These are all 3-month subscriptions, and they are recurring, but not auto renewing. So I've started trying to let you guys know if it's your 3rd month. So if you want to renew, you can. So a happy hour. So I'm researching drinks right now, because that's based on a cocktail, and recipes included. So I'm researching drinks to see what the next one is going to be. And by research and testing. So I'm going to work on that. And then I have my Princess Bride Sock Club. Oh, and in the happy hour club, also there again, you can choose your base. And then I have the Princess Bride Sock Club, and that one is not open to different bases. It's my Glamorous base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and then it comes with a 20-gram mini. So this was last month's, and this one is called Shrieking Eels.
And that was your
Princess Bride. Yeah. And then this one included the mini was this kind of reddish color was the
pretty.
mini.
I love that.
So yeah, so the clubs are ongoing. So sign up for those. And I decided this last night. I think I decided this last night. I think I'm going to do it. Is I'm going to do a Christmas in July Advent.
Fun.
Don't know the theme yet. It'll be something fun, and the colorways, usually aren't based on. I mean, if I go like the coffee club, if I go on a type of coffee, the colorways aren't based on that. But that's going to be the name of the colorway, and so it's just going to be mini skeins. There will be no 100-gram skein, but there'll be a skein for each day of the month in July. So look for that.
Fun.
If you follow me on Instagram, I always post, shop stuff there. So I'm thinking about doing that. And yeah, so let me know if that's something that you might be interested in. You can comment below. Done.
Great. All
So
right.
that's all the shop news. How about reading? Have you done any reading or watching?
I finished my series I told you about last time. That was the Parker or the Posey Parker mystery series.
Did the light just go out? My LED light just shut off.
It's okay. You look you look fine. We can still see you.
I look beautiful.
You look beautiful. Yeah, I finished that for now until there's another one. And then I went back. One of my favorites that I've read from the beginning for years is, I think her name is Victoria Thompson, and she does the Gaslight mysteries that are set in like turn of the century New York City. And, I love a historical mystery, obviously. So there was a newer one that I hadn't read, and I started with that one. And
now, are you reading these or doing Audible?
Yep. I mostly just read actual books in the summer when I'm sitting outside, but yeah.
It's hard. I think it's hard to find the time to make the time, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta multitask. And then we've been watching Clarice on TV. It's so good. There's only been one, but I really enjoyed it.
I need to go
And
back
then
and watch
another
that.
show I'm interested in watching is called The Dig on Netflix.
Well,
And
I talked about that last night.
did you watch that?
No, my sister did. And it's, based on this historical, archaeological, words of the day, find. And then I guess on YouTube, there is actual pictures of the actual dig. So
Ooh,
yeah,
very
that's
cool.
yeah.
Because
And
I
it's just,
love
it's a
that. So I
movie.
have
Yeah.
an anthropology minor in college, and I did a lot of the archaeological stuff, and I absolutely love that. And then my sister married an Egyptian guy, and Mimi and I and Liz and Kareem, my brother-in-law, went to Egypt several years ago and saw all the glory, and went down to Luxor and Valley of the Kings and the whole 9 yards. And oh, you guys, it was amazing. So that kind of reignited my well, and then my all-time favorite series of books is the Elizabeth Peters, Amelia Peabody. And she's the detective, and oh God, they're just amazing.
Oh,
Oh yeah. How about you? What have you?
so
I know you finished. Yeah.
I finished Winter Solstice by Rosamond Pilcher. And I almost want to go back and listen to it again. So I'd say the first half of the book, I had a really hard time concentrating. And I usually listen to the books when I'm doing the skein management, twisting, labeling, packing. So I'm kind of only half paying attention, what, in the summer, when, like you say, when it's nice and I'll sit outside, I'll have a book on and I can focus more. But anyway,
Right.
about halfway through the book, something clicked and I thought, this is good. This is real good. So I hated to see it end. But
well, that's always a good sign.
that is good. So like I say, I may go back now because there's so many different characters, and then about halfway through, they all intertwine. So, to keep the backstory of the characters straight, that's where I kind of was losing it. So I finished that, and I had this one, I do Audible too, and I just had this one in my library. I don't know if it was a free one at one time I downloaded, but it's called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And it's just a fiction, and I'm just probably one chapter into it, and it's kind of caught my interest. It's about this actress, Evelyn Hugo, who has hired a writer to write her biography. And she was married 7 times, and that's about as far as I've gotten, but I'm sure that there's going to be some little twists and turns in this Evelyn's life. And
oh, I bet with 7 husbands or
but what I thought of when I was reading it was Elizabeth Taylor. I think she had more than 7. But one of the questions that this writer had asked Evelyn was, well, who was your favorite? Because I'm sure Elizabeth had a favorite. But so I just started listening to that. And then I finished a series on Netflix, and it was a crime scene. And it was about the Hotel Cecil.
Oh yeah.
And,
how was that?
It was good. I really like documentaries, and I like true stories.
Me too.
So it was good. Yeah, it was.
I watched maybe the first 2, and I had no idea. I'd never even heard about it before.
Yeah.
And they showed the video of this gal that was staying at the hotel, went into the elevator and left the elevator, and then was never seen again.
Right.
And the video of her in the elevator, that is just so bizarre.
Yeah, she was acting really bizarre, but they kind of explained that as the story got further in. But
okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
But that's what sucked me, and I'm like, whoa, what happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is it. That's all I've been watching and listening to, trying to keep up with podcasts.
Yeah,
I have so many that I follow, and that takes a lot of time. So I'm
it
kind of
does.
getting behind. I have my favorites that I watch
Mhm.
as soon as they come out, but I'm kind of getting behind on
That's
others.
something I kind of have going on the iPad while I'm working and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. See, and I haven't done that because I don't know.
You
I
could do
do
that
this.
instead of a book.
Well, I
You do
could.
get distracted because then you want to look at what they're showing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I have it on my laptop on the desk and I'm throwing all the yarn up there that I'm, scanning and twisting it, pretty
can't
soon I
see.
can't see the screen
Yeah.
anymore. So yeah, I kind of do that. I kind of watch them in the evenings if there's nothing on,
Oh, yeah.
or if there is something between the time the news gets over and prime time starts. I'll,
Yeah.
but
Cool.
and that is
All right. Well, as always, we want you to mask up and stay safe and social distance and support your local yarn shop
store.
and Nancy at trilogyyarn.com. And we
Yeah.
will see you, well, maybe for a surprise next week.
Maybe for
and
surprise. Yeah.
and for sure in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So
So
everybody
knit on, friends.
stay warm.
Yes. And don't forget, Texas peeps. Let us know that you're
Yes.
okay and
How you're
we're
doing?
thinking about you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.